Hello Kaguro! This video will help us review the teaching strategies we are using inside the classroom. Let's start!
A teaching strategy is the method you use to convey information to your students. There may be a particular strategy that works well with your group of students one year that won't work with your students the next year. Because of this, it's important to have lots of teaching strategies in your toolbox. Here are some of the top ideas for you to use. Number 1. Modeling. After telling students what to do, it's important to show them exactly how to do it. This will help your students who are visual learners too. Number 2. Feedback. Students don't always know if they're doing a good job without you telling them. Regularly provide written or verbal feedback for individual or group assignments. Also, it can be beneficial to turn the tables sometimes. Let the students provide you feedback to tell you how you're doing too. Number 3. Experiential learning. Students learn by doing, so create experiences for them to see the concepts in action. Let them practice the concepts in a safe environment. Then, they should reflect on the experience and discuss what they learned from it. Classroom activities that you could do for experiential learning include fun games, experiments, or simulations. Number 4. Student-led classroom. When students get to be the teacher for the day, they learn things that they wouldn't have learned otherwise. You could have students team teach or work in groups to teach a new topic. You'll find that other students will learn from their peers. Number 5. Mistakes. If you ever accidentally spelled a word wrong on the board, you know that students love to identify mistakes. When you're teaching a new skill, make an example riddle with mistakes. Let students practice the skill by identifying and fixing the mistakes for you. Number 6. Class discussion. Another way for students to teach each other is through class discussions. As students take turns discussing the subject, you can assess their knowledge and discover which student grasped the concepts and to what extent. Number 7. Cooperative learning. Students learn effectively when they're working together. Plan activities that require students to work together and learn from one another. In the process, they also learn critical thinking skills, communication skills, problem-solving skills, and more. Number 8. Inquiry-guided instruction. By asking questions and working together to solve the problems, students get to be involved in the learning process. The class can work together to determine the answer and report it. As students do the work to discover the answers on their own, they remember the concepts better and more fully. Number 9. Lesson objective transparency. Rather than letting your students figure out what they should be learning on their own, just tell them. Clearly state your lesson goals and objectives. You could announce it in class or write it on the board. Just make it simple and clear for all your students to understand. Then, they know what they're working towards and what they should know by the end of the class. This also really helps to reduce student anxiety. Last, number 10, the graphic organizers. Graphic organizers summarize the information in a concise manner. Using a flowchart, Venn diagram, or web, students